Welcome back, Authentic Leaders. Thanks for tuning in. Last time in our series titled Learning to Love to Lead Again, we talked about you. We talked about reconnecting yourself with your main purpose in life so that you could get connected and centered in living that purpose every day of your life, in your personal and your professional life. So today we're going to focus on how you can reconnect and create the relationship you want with your boss, with your own leader. Every day you work with your leader. Your boss and your relationship becomes critical to learning to love to lead again. So let's get started on what you really need to think about. Let's begin with diagnosis. Several questions I'd like you to ask yourself. Number one, what's working between the two of you right now? What's going on that's effective and feels pretty good to you? What's working? The second diagnostic question, number two, is where are you stuck? What isn't working? Where is the relationship and the partnership broken? What would you like to have or do or be different? Now, getting that diagnostic process down and reflecting on those questions is really only part of how you can reconnect with your boss. Because the number one thing that might be coming up for you right now is, have I given up on this relationship? Now, why do I know that and how do I know that? Because it's the number one thing that a lot of the people I coach ask me. They say to me, Cindy, what do I do if I've given up and I really don't care anymore about this relationship? And usually that's at the moment, and it's a big moment, a moment of truth, where someone has to decide, is it ready and time to move on? So be sure you don't forget to ask that question of yourself, and it maybe should start the diagnostic process. Have you given up? Do you still care enough to work on improving the alliance with your boss? So diagnosis is where you start. Now let's get pretty proactive. Next is when you're going to schedule the meeting to talk to your boss about what you've just diagnosed. And here's what I'm going to invite you to do. Be transparent. You know, just like I was transparent with you in my last video about my authentic purpose in life, I suggest to you that you do the same. You get just as transparent about your journey to learn to love to lead again this year. You get transparent about what your purpose is, and you explain that you're anxious and excited to design a new alliance with them. And once you do, start to work on it. Talk about what's important. How do you want to work together? What will you do if the partnership lets you down? What will you do if both of you are unhappy in how you're working together? I'm sure once you do this meeting and you have this meeting with your boss, actually you'll have even better questions to ask each other. Get the appointment scheduled and have the meeting. It's your next step on learning to love to lead again. I invite you to work on your relationship with your boss. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the series of Learning to Love to Lead Again. I'm Cindy Charlton, Executive Coach.